The halls of the Erythian citadel gleamed with crystalline spires, their walls humming faintly with bioluminescent veins. The Erythians, tall, graceful, luminous-skinned beings, were considered one of the most advanced species in the Orion Spur. Their bloodlines were carefully maintained, their hierarchies rigid. But Princess Kilira had always been different. Unlike her sisters, who bore glowing patterns along their forearms that bloomed with life upon contact with a chosen mate, Kilira's bonding mark had never responded to anyone. It was said the marks were threads of destiny, guiding Erythians to their fated pair. For Kilira, hers remained a dull silver glyph etched in her skin, cold, lifeless, mocking. Useless, her cousin hissed one evening during a feast. You are a princess with no bond. How will you ever unite houses? Who will accept a broken lineage? The words cut deep, though Kilira kept her chin high. She had learned to wear her dignity like armor. But in her heart, she feared they were right. When the council declared that representatives from the Terran Republic, humans, were arriving for diplomatic negotiations, Kilira did not expect to be included. But her father, the High Sovereign, decreed she would serve as an aide. You will watch, he said flatly, and learn how real leaders conduct themselves. So Kilira waited in the Great Hall when the Terran envoy arrived. And that was when she saw him, Commander Elias Ward, a human soldier with a strong build, storm-gray eyes, and a presence that felt steady, unshakable. He wasn't adorned in jewels or glowing silks. He wore a simple Terran uniform, scuffed with travel. Yet he walked as though he belonged in a hall of kings. Kilira dismissed the strange flutter in her chest. Humans were allies, nothing more. And yet, when his eyes briefly met hers, she felt heat rush beneath her skin, right where her bonding mark lay dormant. The impossible connection. Over the days that followed, Elias proved himself both diplomat and warrior. He spoke with calm authority, negotiated with wit, and when a riot broke out in the lower district, he was the first to wade into danger, helping civilians before guards even reacted. Kilira, watching silently from the edges, found herself drawn to him. Humans were brash, impulsive, stubborn. Yet Elias was careful, gentle. He treated even the lowliest servant with respect. One evening, Kilira found herself in the palace gardens, seeking solitude. That was when she heard footsteps behind her. Forgive me, Elias said, his voice carrying that rugged Terran warmth. I didn't mean to intrude. You're far from your quarters, Kilira replied carefully. I needed air, he admitted. Your people's halls beautiful, but suffocating. They talked for hours among the crystalline flowers, speaking of their worlds. Elias told her of Earth's storms, oceans, and deserts, raw, untamed places unlike the ordered perfection of Erythia. Kilira shared her people's traditions, though she avoided mention of her dormant mark. As they parted, his hand brushed hers by accident. And that was when it happened. Her bonding mark ignited. Silver glyphs along her skin flared into brilliant light, burning with warmth she had never known. The glow surged at his touch, responding to him a human. Kilira gasped, clutching her arm. Elias froze, staring at the sudden glow. Is that bad? He asked cautiously. Tears filled her eyes. It's impossible. Rising conflict, the forbidden bond. News spread quickly. A princess's mark had awakened, but to a human?
The court was scandalized.
The council raged. Her father's fury shook the spires. A Terran cannot bond with our kind, the High Sovereign thundered. It is blasphemy against the bloodlines. Kilira stood before the council, her glowing mark unveiled for all to see. You have called me broken my whole life. Now fate itself has spoken. Will you deny what is written in my very blood?" The chamber erupted with voices. Some cried to banish Elias. Others whispered that perhaps destiny was broader than their old laws. Elias himself faced threats from both sides. Terran diplomats warned him to avoid entanglements that could unravel alliances. Yet he refused to abandon Kilira. One night, she confronted him in the gardens again. "You should leave," she whispered. "My people will never accept this. They'll hunt you, perhaps even me." Elias shook his head firmly. "I don't care what they think. I don't walk away from people I care about. Not ever." Her chest tightened. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Not as a princess, not as a mark of shame. Simply as Kilira. But before they could decide their fate, destiny forced their hand. The attack, shadows of rebellion. During a state gathering, rebels allied with a rival house struck, their goal clear: assassinate Kilira and destabilize the court. Blaster fire ripped through the crystalline hall. Guards fell. Courtiers screamed. And Kilira was cornered, her own cousin leading the charge. "You were never meant to rule," her cousin spat. "A broken princess bonded to a human? You shame us all." Before the blade could fall, Elias was there. He fought with brutal precision, his Terran training turning the tide. He shielded Kilira with his own body, taking a strike across his shoulder that left blood staining his uniform. Kilira's power flared in response. For the first time, her dormant energy unlocked, fueled by the bond glowing bright on her arm. She unleashed a surge of radiant force that sent the rebels sprawling. The attack was crushed. But the court had seen everything: the human who bled for her, the princess who glowed with new power only when he was near. Ending, acceptance, or defiance. In the aftermath, Kilira faced her father once more. "You cannot deny this any longer," she declared, her voice strong. "The bond has chosen. I am not broken. I am more whole than ever. And if you would strip me of my title for loving a human, then so be it. I will walk away. But I will not walk away from him." The hall was silent. The High Sovereign's fury flickered, but so did something else: uncertainty. The people had seen their princess rise, had seen her power awaken. To deny her bond now risked rebellion greater than the one they had crushed. At last, the sovereign spoke coldly. "If fate has chosen, then so be it. But know this, daughter. You walk a dangerous path. The stars do not forgive easily." Kilira bowed her head, not in defeat, but in triumph. Later, as the sun set over the crystal city, Elias took her hand. "Are you sure about this? Walking away from everything you knew?" She smiled softly, her glowing mark shimmering in the twilight. "I never had anything to lose. Until you. Now, I have everything." Together, they walked into the future, an impossible bond, forged by fate, defying tradition, and glowing brighter than the stars themselves.